All right. What's going on, good people? Happy Saturday to everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a good start to their weekend. Welcome to the New York Giants fan reunion, late night Giants talk with yours truly. Um, again, let me know first off before we start. Let me know if the audio was good. Let me know if the visual is good. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat, or just say that I'm good in the chat. But I see people already in the building. Again, please hit that like button on the way in and let the algorithm know that we in the building, and algorithm will let other Giants fans know that we are absolutely in the building. You see the thumbnail, you see the title of tonight's show. All right, back to football. Back to football, and I say that as I'm currently watching OKC versus Spurs. You can see the reflection kind of in the NY sign behind me. So hopefully I don't get flagged for that. But how's everybody doing tonight? Quick roll call for everybody. Joseph Salvatore in the building said, "Hey, Big Dash, let's go." My big brother in the building said, "Yo, let's go, Big Dash." What's going on? Corky in the building. What's going on, Corky? Miguel says, "Less politics, more football. Let's go." That's how you got to say it too. We moving past things, man. We definitely talking football, man. Back to football. Luann said, "Year." My man Bully said, "Year." What's going on? D in the building said, "What's up, Big Dash? Let's go." Is it Hilliard in the building? Hilliard said, "What up, Giants family?" Did you change your name, man? I don't know. Sometimes YouTube does that. It changes your name sometimes. My man Moon is in the building. What's going on? Luann said, "Dash, let's go, Knicks." That's a fact. Thunder in the building. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Thank you, Joe, for letting me know that it sounds good. Thanks for the thumbs up, Thunder. Shout out to everybody again, man. I am Robbie says week 1 is a must win. All of them is must win for me. I definitely want to beat up on the Dallas Cowboys. Didn't get enough last year for the final week, and they still talking trash because it was the last, week of the season. Shout out to my man Anthony Cherry in the building too. What's going on, everybody? My man Tyrone in the building. What's going on? I think we caught up already, right? Keon in the building said, "Year." What's going on? Jarius, what's going on, man? How you been, Jarius? What up? Wilderness Scout says, "Dash, we getting better down." That's a fact, man. So let's get this thing going, right? So first, I'm going to talk about what happened just an hour ago, man. Shout out to Brian Burns. Shout out to the charity event. They raised over $100,000 for his charity. I can't remember the name right now, and I don't want to mess it up. But shout out to those guys, man. It seemed like they had a lot of fun out there. You saw some Giants players hit some home runs. I believe, was it Jameis Winston got a home run? Cam Scadable got a home run. Who else? Tyrone Tracy got a home run. That's what I was trying to keep up with the new. Shout out to the beat writers. Shout out to all the fans that was in the building too. Shout out to Odell Beckham, who had a autograph signing there. I'm hearing that the line was super long, but I'm also hearing that he pretty much got everybody that was in line. So shout out to them. Shout out to my homie Scooby. Scooby was in the building. I saw that she was able to get a picture with Odell. My man OMG also got a picture with Odell. So I remember Mark was in the building too. So man, it looked like you guys had fun out there. And yeah, so I'm liking that. But did you guys see Malik Neighbors out there playing dodgeball? Huh? Listen, man, I understand you out there having fun. The last thing I need to see is Malik Neighbors out there playing dodgeball. And anybody that was on the other team, they better not have thrown the ball at Malik at all. It crazy. But did not want to see Malik out there playing dodgeball, not one bit, man. But it was a good turnout. You had present players out there. Pretty much, as from what I've been reading, probably the best event thus far. He said, seriously. Yeah. He was out, the clips all over Twitter. He out there with the clips that I saw, he moving around a bit. He did have the ball through at somebody and stuff. I didn't see him dodging anything though. But to me, I'm sitting here like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Malik? Sit down somewhere. But guess what? Whatever makes him feel more comfortable, if he's comfortable enough to move around a little bit, to play a little bit of dodgeball, that means as far as his mind, getting his mind right, then it is what it is. My man Thunder said there. What you mean? You was there? You was in the building? Let me know. For the people that were at the game, the charity game today, let me know, man. Let me know how it was, man. Also, Cam Scadable, I said it, he hit a home run and decided once he got to home plate to do a backflip, and everybody is saying that was unexpected. But that made me, pretty much made me know that he's ready to go. If Cam Scatterbo can hit a home run, jog around the bases, and then hit a backflip, his celebratory backflip at home plate, I think he's good to go. Let's see. We got a Big Blue says, I have a serious question. Ask it then. Ask me the question. Let me know. He said, what's up? No more backflips would be nice. I don't want none of these guys out there, man. I'm just saying, if Cam feels comfortable enough to do a backflip, that means mentally he's good to go. And they said he'll be ready by training camp. Him doing backflips assured it enough for me. But as far as Malik Neighbors go, I need you to sit your ass down somewhere, please. Pardon my French. Sit down somewhere, Malik. Sit down somewhere. I see Thunder said he's moving around, getting his groove back. I hope so. Man. Again, I'm not expecting anything until October. So anything before week 5 is welcome for me, as long as he's right. Got to make sure he's right, though. GL John Stewart says America 250, New York Giants, dollar bill needs to say Big Dash we trust. Oh, okay, a $250 bill. Okay, got you. Should say in Dash we trust. I appreciate the love and support. Always. Again, make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to the over 60 people already in the building. And again, if you did go to that charity event, I would love to hear about it in the comment section. Let me know. Big Blue Reborn says, are we concerned with Harbaugh's practices being too hard? Man, 3 Achilles in 3 weeks. What's going on here? Help. And that's funny too, because I know you asked that in the video too, man. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get to the talking points. That might be the first talking point. But let me go ahead and save this, because I'm gonna go back to that question. That's a good question. Born for Sports, what's going on? He says, what's up, Dash? Gonna hurt. Looks like Odell signing, loading. Glad to see the locker room moving past the Dart Abdul Trump triple threat match, despite Pat Leonard trying to be guest referee. Go Knicks. To end all that with a go Knicks is fantastic. And that's a fact. Go Knicks, man. And it's looking like, OKC trying to crawl their way back. Because at one point they was up, Spurs were up like 14 points in the first quarter. Michael, what's going on? Says Dash, the man is testing himself. Can't wait for the game to finish. That's a fact. Let him test himself, man. Let him get comfortable. Let him heal. I'm here for all that. I am absolutely here for all that. Did I miss somebody? Nope. We're going to get to these talking points in a moment. Just want to get through the introduction. Shout out to my man, JJ the King in the building. My man, Steven Arce in the building, too. What's going on, Steve? He says, Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Hit the like button for my fellow New York Giants brother. Now, I appreciate the love and support, man. I appreciate the love and support. Robert Sage, what's going on, Robert? He says, these conditioning coaches are to blame for the Achilles injuries. They need more stretching. You're like the 7th person that said that. We don't stretch enough. They do all this weightlifting. They do all this training and stuff like that. Weight training, weightlifting, power lift, all that stuff. But they got to get back to stretching them ligaments out. I do want to say a couple things, man. I won't say that I'm not worried. I won't say that I'm not worried about all the injuries. I don't think it has anything to do with these guys practicing. I don't think they're practicing too hard. I mean, it's pretty much sped up walkthroughs for the most part. They are going downfield and stuff like that, but you notice where the injuries are. I don't know. They didn't explain how or what part of the field he went down on. I don't know if he was running a route. I don't know if it's during like return exercises or something like that. So I would like to know more about what happened with Gunner, like where that injury occurred. We know it was non-contact, and as soon as you saw non-contact, you knew it was bad. You absolutely knew it was bad. Let me go ahead and get the topics up, man. And you see what we're going to talk about tonight. And also, whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat, we're going to hit those points too. But nah, man, I don't blame it on the coaching at all. I blame it on pretty much the individual, and also like my man Robert said, man, possibly the conditioning coaches. We talking about ligaments, major ligaments, when we talk about Achilles. So for me, if there's ways to stretch out the Achilles, a few years back, somebody pointed out like with the surge of injuries, all of these players are just so much stronger than they used to be. They have so much more muscle mass, and the ligaments can't hold up to the muscles. And the way these guys are cutting and stuff like that is hard on the ligaments. I'm not a doctor. So if that makes sense to y'all, that these guys are running around heavier, bigger muscles, and the ligaments can't stand up to the muscle pulling, pause. You guys let me know if there's a doctor in the building, if that makes sense or not. But somebody told me that a while ago. My man Thunder says, I hope we get the Spurs so we can avenge 99. You know what's crazy, man? I really don't care which team we play, to be honest. I understand why you say that, though. It would be nice to get that get back. But those are just two entirely different teams. You know what I mean? It's two entirely different teams, almost 20 years apart. Over 20 years apart. Well, yeah, over 20 years apart. What am I talking about? Almost 30 years apart. So, yeah. Big Blue says he would rather play the Spurs or OKC. Who would I? For me, I don't care. Shout out to my man Vaporizer in the building. He said, yo, what's good, Dash? Hope family is doing well. They are. They're doing good. And good to see everyone moving forward and vibing as a unit. We're back. Let's effing go. Yeah, the family's doing good. Thank you for asking. My wife's birthday was yesterday. We celebrated. So if you guys feel like doing it, go ahead and send Mrs. Dash a happy birthday in the chat, just in case she's watching. She might be watching film right now with Pittsburgh Steelers, though, because you know how she get down. Rev is in the building. What's going on, Rev? Stephen R. says an OBJ reunion. With that being said, I'm going to get into my first segment, right? Shout out to my man Pete in the building. Skate is also in the building. Shout out to FaZe in the building too, man. So we got a contract restructure for Andrew Thomas, and it was a max restructure, creating almost $11 million in cap space. Initially, they said it was about $16.4 million in cap space, but I'm trying to figure out if it was the total. That's 12 now, which I believe that's what the deal is. Not that his contract created 12 by itself, but the total that we have right now is almost $12 million in cap space. As soon as that happened, you saw the rumors start flying. Oh, we create a room. We got to be signing Odell Beckham. And I'm like, pump the brakes. So that's way too much money for Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham shouldn't cost you nearly that much money as far as a restructure from Andrew Thomas. And we knew for a fact it was going to be Arvell Reese. Said it in the video. And then it didn't happen the same day that I said it. It happened the day after. So moving to the next segment. Arvell Reese signed, sealed, delivered. The last guy on the out of the draft picks to get signed. Fantastic. Now let's talk about this OBJ thing, man. So this will be my first question of the day. Wasn't a part of the topics, but hey, you guys want to know. Odell Beckham sniffing around. You see him at the charity game. He's signing autographs, getting friendly with the fan base again. To me, feels like they're checking the temperature because we already know how it is. Some people felt a certain way about Odell Beckham before he left. Some people feel a certain way about him now. For me, I'm sitting here with, listen, the more the merrier, especially with the wide receiver room. So let me know in the comment section, man. Odell Beckham, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or express your feelings about Odell Beckham. I'm going to get to some of these comments while you guys go ahead and do that. Thunder said, I like to see OBJ back. Cool. Skate Habit says, Giants are cursed. Another ACL. It's Achilles. It's Achilles. Prayers for our guys. Now, that's a fact. Gun Olszewski's gone. And that's the next topic. We're going to get into that in a second. We're going to talk about OBJ just for a moment. Roy Robinson, Harris, gone. These guys were, major contributors to the team last year. But I think we did a good enough job as far as the depth chart goes that we can move on and have that next man up mentality when it comes to Roy Robinson, Harris. But with that being said, the injury guys out there, football guys, relax, calm down, take it easy on my New York Giants, please. Please. My man Pete said, I think they need to stretch harder, stretch longer, whatever. Yeah, like my man Rob said earlier, man, the conditioning coaches, man, do what do you call it? Pilates? Is that what it is? Pilates, right? Maybe they could try some Pilates or something like that. I don't know. FaZe says ex-Ravens players saying our coach run the players to the ground. That concerns me. Zay Flowers was talking about that. But did you see how other players responded to him with how he was saying that? We saw it with who's a coach for the Detroit Lions? Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell told his players, I remember watching Hard Knocks like 2 years ago, and they were talking about tackling to the ground during training camp and stuff like that. And he told the players to trust me. You're going to be better prepared for it. Now, you're going to have some injuries. Obviously, practice is football at the end of the day. And the only way you can get prepared for football is by playing football activities. And if you want to start taking it easy on the players and stuff like that, and these easy practices, you're just going to increase a lot of the injuries, man. So these guys got to get in playing shape. Playing shape doesn't mean just your cardio. Playing shape also means your physiology and stuff like that. So for me, I'm cool with it. And again, we're talking about OTAs guys getting hurt. I don't think that has anything to do with how hard these guys are practicing. It's more about what kind of condition these players are in as well. And also, when it's this early in the offseason, we're talking about OTAs, a lot of that responsibility is on the players too, on how they prepare themselves going into, this period of the offseason. So I'm not going to say and just sit here and blame the players, but I'm saying everybody has a role in this. Conditioning coaches need to do more. The doctors need to be more informed. Whoever's taking care of the field needs to be more informed. So, and then we can't just blame it on the turf either, because we had injuries inside and injuries outside. So we know that the inside field is turf. We know outside is grass, the practice field. So it didn't even matter. It didn't even, the Achilles were claimed no matter what. You know what I blame? I blame it on MetLife by itself, man. I blame it on the ghost of Jimmy Hoffa buried somewhere in the Meadowlands, man. That place is cursed. We need to get somebody out there and sprinkle that holy water on the ground so we can kind of prevent, hopefully do everything imaginable to try to make sure these guys can stay as healthy as possible. But something definitely going on, and I just don't think I think it's just multiple things that are causing these injuries, man, for sure. Saigon Bra says, bring back the rack. Who you talking about? Bring back the rack. Let me know. It might have flew right over my head, man. AJ says, man, Andrew Thomas is a different beast. When he came back to the offense, that O-line suddenly looked functional. You know what's crazy? Like, they played well without him too, man. This last year was the first time in a long time that we did not have Andrew Thomas, but we were still able to function as an offense. Like, we didn't have him in the first two games. Remember that. We didn't have him in that Dallas game. How many yards did Russ put up? Almost 500. As soon as they got James Hudson off the field and put Marcus Bowe out there, we were able to start cooking, man. So we're obviously better with Andrew Thomas, 100%. But I'm not going to sit here and act like he's the end all be all anymore when it comes to this New York Giants. And if we can win games, it's not just set on Andrew Thomas, but Andrew Thomas definitely makes us give us our best chances for sure. Luann says grass is being installed for the World Cup at MetLife. Yeah, all they're gonna do is tear it back up. It don't make sense to me. It never makes sense to me. Like, put grass out there. It's still better than what I grew up seeing at MetLife. I'm sorry, at Giant Stadium, when they actually had like AstroTurf carpet over concrete. That was crazy that guys used to play on that stuff. It's better than that. But they definitely need to entertain possibly a way of keeping the grass at MetLife. Like, that's a lot of money, man, to put all that grass out there, then just to tear it up and put turf back down. That's crazy to me. So if there is a possible way for those guys to keep grass, they need to try to do that, man. But they have so many different events, and that's why they don't have grass now. They need something a little bit more durable for all the other events, the concerts and stuff like that that they have at MetLife. But at the end of the day, the bread and butter is the New York Giants, also the Jets, unfortunately. And that's what the bread and butter is for MetLife. Take care of your players, man. Take care of the players. I don't care about monster truck rallies and all that other stuff. If they still do monster truck, they don't still do monster truck there, right? Do they? Do they still even have monster truck anymore? It's been a while. It's been a while for me. Shout out to everybody giving Mrs. Dash some birthday love in the building. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Miguel says, damn if you do, damn if you don't with the practices. Nah, that's a fact. Listen, you win some, you lose some. You got to try to figure out what the trend is. You don't know. So that's why I go to something unnatural happen. And probably we still might be really cursed, or that area is cursed. Like the poltergeist or something crazy like that, man. Big Blue Reborn says contract restructure means something, someone getting signed. And nah, man, it was Arvell Reese. I'm telling you, they need to create that space for Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese signed a $47 million contract, had $31 million signing bonus. And then, so I forget what they said his cap hit is. But that's what it was about. It was about taking care of Arvell Reese and also having operational money for the season. Now, if you can squeeze a contract for Odell Beckham in there, cool. But it got to make sense at the end of the day. And I don't know how much money Odell is looking for, but you can't sit here and tell me Odell is flying from Arizona to New Jersey, spending time around these players, giant celebrity event, fundraiser, charity event, and me not saying, yeah, it looked like he might actually be, a part of the New York Giants in the very near future. And then now let's talk about Gunnar Olszewski, man. It was unfortunate news, man. Unfortunate news to hear about Gunnar Olszewski, right? But at the same time, if you lose somebody like Gunnar Olszewski, I am happy that the New York Giants did what they did with the wide receiver room as far as signing somebody like Calvin Austin. Because Calvin Austin pretty much can do what Gunnar Olszewski can do respectfully, but also give you a little bit more in the wide receiver room. And we've seen that in OTAs already as far as him building chemistry with Jackson Dart already. So shout out to Calvin Austin for that. We're going to talk a little bit more about the wide receivers in a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, unfortunate, the whole Gunnar injury. One thing about Gunnar Olszewski is he never made me nervous. As a Giants fan for years, we were nervous. Every time we received a punt, every time we received a kick, we're hoping that somebody didn't fumble, somebody didn't muff it, or anything like that. And one thing about Gunnar Olszewski, I was never worried that Gunnar Olszewski was going to cough the ball up. He was pretty secure, most comfortable I've been in a long time when it comes to a returner for the New York Giants. So unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Let me see what people got to say about OBJ. Reggie, what's going on, Reggie? Reggie says, love to see Odell back. Thunder gives Odell the thumbs up. Skate Habit says, bring OBJ home, especially. Gunner just went down. True. Robert Sage. That's funny, man. Old Dell. That's hilarious. It's some truth behind that, too, though. He is old. He's older, I should say. If it doesn't cost you any money, though, Rob, let me know. If it's cheap, there's no guarantee that he makes the 53, depending on how much money you're paying him. Do you want to see him fight for a roster spot, Rob? Let me know. Jerry says, bring him back. Big bro said happy birthday to the wife. Thank you very much, big bro. Duke Haney says happy birthday, Mrs. Dash, as well. Again, thank everybody for all the birthday wishes for the missus, for sure. Thunder says, yeah, I hope Gunner has a smooth recovery. I hope so too, man. He's going for the season, just like Roy Robertson Harris is going for the season. Next man up, man. We can't sit here and dwell on it, man. All we can do is worry about who is going to be the guy now. So somebody's going to take advantage of the snaps, but also you're losing the extra body when it comes to the 90-man roster. So I'm pretty sure we'll probably get an announcement. Somebody else is going to be added or signed to the roster to make that, make up for that move. But like I said, we'll see what happens, man. They got to put him on IR though, because I don't think they officially put Roy Robertson Harris on IR yet. And of course, they didn't do it with Gunnar Olszewski. The only person they put on IR so far is Thaddeus Dixon. That was the UDFA cornerback out of North Carolina. That's it. Pete said yoga. Yeah. Yoga. Is it tied? I'm sitting here yapping. Didn't even know it was halftime. 49-49. Okay. Pete said that for OKC. Listen, I'm not worried about who we get. Who we get. Shout out to the Knicks, man. First game is Wednesday. I'm tuned in for that. Yeah, and if the Knicks get hot, then it's over. I will say this though, man. I don't know if we got an answer for Wemby, man. I don't know if we got an answer for Wemby, man. Maybe a couple elbows to the chest, something like that. Old school Knicks, we need an Anthony Mason out there to bang bodies. Pause. You know what I mean? Somebody got to hit them ribs of Wemby, slow him down a little bit because he is nice. My first time really paying attention to Wemby. Was this year really. So it is what it is. Side Guy Bry says old-fashioned stretching device used to torture people. That's what you need. That's what the Giants need to stretch. They need the thing that turn you upside down and stretch you like that. Now that's crazy. It might work though. But no, I really do think it's because these guys are running around with more muscles. And that's why you had way less injuries back in the day, because these guys your offensive linemen were 220 pounds. Now they 320 pounds, and running backs used to be 160. Now they running around 225, 230. So, you know, these are bigger guys, muscular guys. The ligaments got to hold up, man. And also all these, you know, supplements and stuff. Who knows, man? I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to act like I'm a doctor either, but we got to figure out what the hell's going on with these guys. Luann says Arvell Reese signed a $47 million, 31 guaranteed. Unbelievable how much these rookies getting paid, players in general. And I have to hope I can retire comfortably. That's a struggle for a lot of us. For a lot of us regular folk out there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We got to find where we can retire. That's a fact. But nah, man, that's a lot of money. And then it's crazy too, because people talked about not paying Sonny Styles or drafting Sonny Styles at 5 because he was an off-ball linebacker and off-ball, you know, and he would be like one of the top paid off-ball linebackers, but they did it for Arvell Reese. No complaints at all. But shout out to Arvell Reese, man. Have you guys seen Arvell Reese in pads? It's ridiculous. 20 years old. You kidding me? What they feeding him? Ukanuba, man. I don't know. That might have flew over people's heads too, man. If you from somewhere where pit bulls were raised in the 90s, they used to feed them Ukanuba. That's that. I'm gonna leave it at that though. But Arvell Reese, man, that man is a man amongst, I was gonna say boys, but he in the league now. But that man is a unit, is a beast. And speaking of that, I want to talk about Abdul Carter, man. And it got nothing to do with the whole Jackson Dart Abdul Carter stuff, man. Why are Abdul Carter's shoulders so small, man? Well, why does he look so little? Pause. Somebody tell me that man got to hit the weights, man. I understand that he fast, got all the bend and all that other stuff. That man need to hit the weight room. I saw him dap up Jackson Dart, walk to the podium. He looked like he the same size as Jameis Winston, man. Shoulders like Jameis Winston. I thought he'd be a little bit bigger than that. Arms look little. Look at me talking. I mean, listen. He go out there and get 15 sacks. I'm going to shut up. I'm absolutely going to shut up. Monster Truck is a Prudential Center. Okay. Thank you. All right. I remember when they used to do the Monster Trucks, man. Back in the day. Thank you again. All the birthday wishes still. Race Park. That's a fact. Thank you, Pete. So yeah, we're going to miss Gunner. Never bobbled the ball. Now that's a fact. I was never nervous with Gunner back there. Never at all. Funny now, you got, again, Calvin Austin, you got Tate Banks. Those are your special team returners right now. We talk about this roster, and maybe we can do that right now, man. We could talk about this roster a bit, man, when it comes to guys stepping up. Tate Banks, man. Tate Banks. Big year for Tate Banks, contract year for Tate Banks. Obviously didn't get the 5th-year option picked up, but it is an absolute prove-it year for Tate Banks. But for me, he has two chances for the New York Giants. Returner or either come back as a cornerback. Now, the way things are looking, it looks like more of a special teams guy, and what do special teams guys make on the open market. But I'm really, really rooting for Tate Banks. I really am. Because if he can tap into whatever, if Denard Wilson can tap into whatever we think Tate Banks can do as far as salvage, you know, the player that's known as Tate Banks, then it would be fantastic for me. Absolutely fantastic. Bully Bill says we wide receiver room should look Leak, Slayton, Fields, Austin, Mooney, OBJ, or Hodgins. How many is that? That's one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. I mean, yeah. If Leak doesn't start on the pup, absolutely. 6 receivers is the way to go. And I think we pretty much agreed on that last week when we talked about how many wide receivers that the Giants might keep. 6 sounds about right. ODBJ is crazy. Odell wants to retire a Giant. Odell wants to get paid right now. That's what he worried about, the bag right now. Let's be honest. You know what it is. I do think that it makes sense for him to want to retire a Giant. Obviously, he got his career start here. This is where he became popular, became a star. And if it wasn't for that one season with the Rams, man, that you would really think that he would just be, you know, signing that 1 year. I'm sorry, that 1 day contract to retire a Giant. But he still think he got something in the tank, man. I'm all in the group of let him prove it. Absolutely, let him prove it. JJ says, well, I doubt we sign OBJ, but I would love to have him back. Listen, I'm here for the competition. I'm here for the competition. Vaporizer says, Dash, you hear Giants holding a wide receiver workout Monday? I did not hear that, so that's my first time. Thank you for letting me know. He said, not sure who's attending, but exciting. Keep a lookout for OBJ in the next 2 weeks. Let me know where you read that at. Was because I know a lot of the beat writers were at the charity event. I haven't been on Twitter that much today. I got a little bit of the news about the charity event, how much money they raised, guys hitting home runs and stuff like that, but I did not hear anything about them holding the workout for wide receivers on Monday, but it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Money Mike, what's going on? He says, I rock with Odell, but look at his stats. He ain't been good in 5 years. He should get signed if this is his farewell season. Now, Money Mike, it's about expectations. Like, I don't think people have like high expectations for Odell Beckham if he was to get signed here. Fourth wide receiver at best, the fourth wide receiver, at worst, the sixth wide receiver. But the crazy thing about that is when you start getting that far down on the depth chart, guys got to play special teams. But when you look at Odell ain't playing special teams at all, man. At all. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. What's going on, Mark? How you doing? Corky says, do you think Gunner's injuries give Bankston a better chance to make the team? Yes, it does. And we're gonna talk about the running backs too. I got a graphic for the running backs, but the only way Bankston has even a chance to make the team is if he does outstanding on special teams. I don't think the New York Giants keep more than 3 running backs. And I do believe it's going to be the same running backs, barring any injuries. And then you got Pat Ricard at the end of the day. So yeah, anybody that's outside of the top 3 running backs, so that'll be Bankston, that'll be Gray, that'll be Turbo Miller. The only chances they got to make in the 53 at all is special teams. And even with that being said, I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think all those guys are auditioning for the practice squad, respectfully. Let me know if you feel differently. Coming in late. Nah, you good, man. You're absolutely good. Bring back Oakley. We need somebody out here to give Wemby a shot to the ribs for sure. I don't want to preach violence though, but you know what it is. Pete Winer says Reese and Edmonds look like monsters of the Midway. Yo, what Gettleman said, full bloom love. just all right, man. Let's talk, man. We're gonna talk ball a little bit. Let's talk about the linebackers again. Not on the topic list for tonight. Listen. I love the linebacker situation. I love what we got going on at linebacker, and it's not just about Arvell, Reese, and Edmonds. It's about Micah McFadden as well, and Micah McFadden being the kind of linebacker he is and being a reserve player. Like Micah McFadden as your third linebacker coming off of the bench, that's fantastic. That's fantastic right there, because he has he plays at a starter level. He was a starter, and to have him in a reserve role, to give a guy a breather to step in if somebody gets hurt, that's a fantastic place to be for the New York Giants. So, and it's funny, he got a 1-year deal, right? Mike McFadden was a 1-year deal when we re-signed him. Only person in the 2022 class that got a new contract. We're still trying to see what's going to happen with Tibbs. Well, we gave Evan Neal a contract too, if you want to call it that. No guaranteed money. But as far as guys signed, expected to play and have a role on the team from the 2022 class, McFadden's the only one. Again, waiting on Tibbs, to see what he does. 5th-year option for him though. Said Banks is a pretty good returning. Now, that's a fact. He is. He surprised a lot of people. Can he do it another year though? Luann says, Dash, do you want Kayvon traded? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Best edge setter on the second level. Best run defender when it comes to the linebackers, period. Absolutely need him on this team. Very, very important. One of the main things that the Giants need to do is be able to stop the run. And if you trade away Kayvon, you're just going to try to replace him with who? Go ahead and keep Kayvon, man. Just keep him. Williams says, I think the shape of his traps makes his shoulders look small. What about his chest too, though, man? Come on. Well, like, just be honest with me. For a 6'3", 250 pounder, right? That's what they say. 6'3", 250 pounds. When you see him with the shoulder pads off, 250 where? His shoulders, his neck is thick though. I'll give you that much. Pause. That sounds crazy. But yeah, it may be. But his arms a little, chest is small too. I don't know. He got to hit them weights, man. We'll see what happens this year. If he can have 15 sacks, he can look however he want to look. But I remember what Kayvon looked like when he first came out. And I know what Kayvon looks like now. And yeah, we need that type of transformation too for Abdul. And I say that respectfully too, because he's doing what he's doing right now in the shape that he's in. And he had a pretty good rookie season, especially towards the end of the season. Tyrone says Neighbors and OBJ are alumni. They are. That don't mean nothing no to the regime, no. Yeah, they both went to LSU, but you think that matters? I think it's more of a OBJ Giants thing than an LSU thing, in my opinion. Vaporizer says Paul Schwartz posted and Dunleavy covered a quick post. Good to see the team taking care of the depth. Now that's good. Thanks for letting me know. So Paul Schwartz reported that they're gonna have some wide receivers in the building working out on Monday. So that's a good tidbit to have. I appreciate that, Vaporizer. JJ says, not gonna lie, I did want Edmonds. I didn't want Edmonds. I wanted Devin Lloyd. I think a lot of people wanted Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd would have absolutely been a home run. But once he got signed, who got signed first? I think we signed Edmonds before Lloyd signed, and we were surprised at how much money Lloyd made because it wasn't a lot of money. But we got a good deal for Edmonds too. But I think people thought that Devin Lloyd was going to be making like 20 plus, and I think he was just under 20. It might be like 18, I think, and it was very affordable. Now, if you would have teamed up Devin Lloyd and this, nope, I'm not going to do it. Nope, I'm happy with what we have. I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain. You get what you get and you don't have a fit, right? Thomas Higgins says, I'm not fighting them. You're not fighting who? Who you not fighting, man? Let me know. You just said, I'm not fighting them. Who you talking about? Who you fighting, man? Let me know. Somebody messing with you? We can jump them, man. Everybody, we can jump them, man. Let me know. MKM says, make the New York Giants great again. That's a fact. You already know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple. He said too soon. He said too soon, man. Listen, it's about maturity at the end of the day. That hat is almost 2 years old, man. It's about maturity at the end of the day. And also, it depends on how you meant it. Now, if you meant it a certain way, then, I can't, it is what it is. Luann says, I work out my shoulders. Your shoulders bigger than Abdul's. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was thinking that AC might be vegetarian. You know what? I don't know. That might be something. You might be on to something. I don't know. Is he vegetarian? I don't know. That's a good one. All right, let's get into these OTAs, man. So obviously we completed our second week of OTAs outside of the injuries and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out exactly. Now we know Andrew Thomas, he has maintenance days. It just so happens to be every time he has a maintenance day is when the beat writers are in the building. So the beat writers have not seen Andrew Thomas on the field yet, concerning to them. But we did see pictures with him from previous practices out there on the field. So I'm okay with the maintenance days for Andrew Thomas. And also what that does is it gives Marcus Bowe a chance to get some reps at left tackle. Now, what was even more intriguing to me is that I think it was Dan Duggan. He put out the offensive line and guys that were the first team and the second team and the third team. And on the second team, we saw that that Daniel Falele was playing on the left side as left guard. Now, he is known to be a right guard. And with the Ravens, he was the right guard. Now you see him on the second team at left guard, and that has me thinking, right? I believe that the weakest link is John Runyon, right? And I don't think it's a coincidence that Daniel Falele has now switched sides and has been working out behind Jon Runyan. I also know that Jon Runyan has a cap hit of about $9 million, actually a little bit more than that. And if you cut Jon Runyan, you can actually save $9 million. So to me, it's not a coincidence. You know, I might be a conspiracy theorist when I'm saying this, but they might be looking at a competition at left guard between Runyan and Falele. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Am I bugging? Am I looking too hard for something? Let me know. But I don't think it's a coincidence that Daniel Falele is now working out on the left side of the line. When we got him, he was supposed to be the right guard before we got Maui Noah. So I think that something's brewing there as far as competition for the offensive line, and I think they should have competition at the offensive line, and especially at the left guard spot. But let me know what you guys feel, man. Is that interesting or not? That Daniel Falele is the left guard, a second team left guard, instead of being the second team right guard, his quote unquote more natural position. Let me know if that's interesting to you guys, man, for sure. Simeon says there are veggie protein shakes, so we're gonna run with this vegetarian thing for Abdul Carter. I don't think he's a vegetarian. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he was. I'm just saying, I just don't think. Like, you know how much you got to eat in order to try to keep those calories. If you're a vegetarian and a football player, you know how much salad, beets, vegetables, and all this stuff you got to eat to try to maintain enough calories to have enough energy to go out there and run around. I don't know, man. It seems like a lot. Not saying that it's impossible. I think what's the wide receiver from the Bills? I think he's a vegetarian. The guy that be walking around barefoot and stuff like that. Mac Hollins. I think he might be vegetarian. Or maybe I'm just, making that up in my mind. It seems like he might be a vegetarian. Dope Dad says cuts are coming. Not yet, Dope. The cuts ain't coming to August. What we talking about? Nah, I get what you're saying. You talk about Runyan, man. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. And again, we know that John Harbaugh has a type when it comes to the guard spot. He likes the guards big. Pause. And Falele is big. Pause again. Almost 400 pounds, man. 6 foot, what, 4'5"? Is he 6'6"? How tall is he? Almost 400 pounds. Actually, he's 6'8", I think, right? Falele might be 6'8". That's a big man. And like I said, and Harbaugh has a certain type as far as interior offensive lineman. And I'm just saying, it's funny to me that he's playing on the left side instead of the right side. Shout out to J.C. Davis being the second string left tackle. And again, this is all because of Andrew Thomas, because normally Marcus Bowe would be the second team left tackle, but J.C. Davis is now the second team left tackle when we have maintenance days for Andrew Thomas, but it's also giving him more reps. And J.C. Davis is another guy that could be in competition for that left guard spot, but right now we're seeing him play more tackle than guard. But he's another one of those guys that has that size that John Harbaugh likes, as far as 6'4", 320 pounds plus, stuff like that. So I'm liking the way that this offensive line is shaping up, but I do believe that they need to have some type of open competition or something close to open competition when it comes to that left guard spot. You have Lucas Patrick too as the second string center, but I think they're going to let JMS rock this year. As far as the center spot, it's a contract year for him. Looking at the pictures of John Michael Schmitz, it looks like he actually hit the weight room this summer or this off season. Arms noticeably bigger, and we knew one of his main flaws was his strength. Also dealing with some injuries as well, as far as his back and also his shoulders, neck too. So he needed to get stronger. So for me, I'm sitting here like, you know what? Let JMS try to earn his next contract. And then if he does not do it, and if he comes one of the weaker links, then you have somebody like Lucas Patrick behind him that can be a solid, center option as well. Stephen Hart says, cuts in May, damn son, you more ruthless than the cut down date. If you cut people in May, not just, listen, man, Runyan is the thing about Runyan is because of how much money he's making. Outside of that, you keep him on the team because you still need quality depth. Even if he lost his job to Falele, you would want quality depth. But with that $9 million tag, I need the $9 million if we're going to be honest. CEO, What's going on? He says, change the turf. I wish it was that easy. I wish I can wave a magic wand and have them do it, man. I don't know, man. Because they act like it's the hardest thing in the world to change out the grass in MetLife. And is it that hard? Because it shouldn't be a money issue. Y'all make enough money to change out grass. They talk about the maintenance of how much more money it would cost for the maintenance. Now, we already stopped being on top of y'all heads when it came to not putting the dome up and not putting in kind of renovations on the stadium by itself. Give us the grass, man. Stop playing. Players Association, man, come to the table. Make it a mandatory thing. I think they're able to do that. If Arizona can have natural grass in the desert, you telling me that the Giants can't do it in the swamp? What? Meadowlands, swamp, whatever. I'm just saying. Arizona literally grows the grass outside. They have a retractable field. It go outside. They have it outside. It gets all this sun. They water and all that, and then they slide it right back into the stadium. It's crazy when you see it. And I don't know how much that costs, but I'm pretty sure it costs way more money than just having grass regularly. But if they can do it, the Giants should definitely be able to do it, especially when we know how stingy the Cardinals franchise is when it comes to money. Their players still paying for coffee and breakfast out there. But they got this fantastic patch of grass that their players can play on comfortably and not have to worry about nothing. But I digress. JJ the King says Carter better not be no damn vegetarian. This linebacker room has to be carnivores eating meat. Pause. I'm glad you paused that yourself. I didn't have to do it for you. I appreciate that. Said this is what happens when and you know what's crazy about that? All they got to do is agree on it. As far as I know, what's his name? Woody Johnson ain't hurting for money. That man come from money. That the Jets ain't even as big as business. You telling me the Maras and the Johnsons can't make it happen as far as the field protect? Listen, we watched Aaron Rodgers go out there, tear his Achilles 5 minutes into his Jet career. You know what I mean? We've seen Malik Neighbors go down. Numerous people go down. I was going to say Saquon, but Saquon went down in Chicago. But we've seen multiple players go down with these injuries. We hear players complain about not just our players. Like the league consensus is that the field is trash and players don't want to play at MetLife. And you see that it's possible that you can actually put grass there because World Cup made it happen. NFL got to do better, man. Do better about your players, man. Do better about your players. Please. Skate says Scat scares me with the backflips. I do believe that is the worst celebration. It's cool to watch. It's cool to watch. I don't like players doing backflips, front flips, anything like that. Like when I see players do front flips into the end zone and stuff like that as a celebration, I don't like none of that. I need Scatterable to get a new celebration though, because the first, nope, never. I'm not gonna say it. I need him to get a new celebration. How about this, Cam? Just spike the ball. Just spike the ball. That's good enough for me. I don't need to see you do a backflip just because you can. I don't need to see that. Simeon says Johnson and Johnson. Yeah, he got Johnson and Johnson. That's Woody Johnson's family. Baby powder and baby oil. Oh man, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna listen. It's Saturday, it's late night. I understand. Still not gonna sit, but you got the baby powder, you got the baby oil. That's the Johnson family. You're not hurting for money. Go ahead and get the Jets, get the Giants a grass field, please. Side note. I got just a question for everybody, please. As far as like possible new stadiums and stuff like that, I know a lot of people. I grew up with the New York Giants being in New Jersey. Pretty much everybody since the 70s. If they didn't want to build a new stadium, let me know. Would you rather that stadium be in New York or be, in the Meadowlands still? Let me know. Curious. I know it costs a lot more money to go across the water, though, for sure. Dino says everybody talking about MetLife. Everybody does. Everybody does. Every player. Every player. It's not even just our players, man. Everybody's talking about how bad it is. Q Burrow, brother, what's going on, man? He says Ricard equals juggernaut. I did a video today, man. Shout out for the people that watched the video. I did the breakdown roster review on the running backs earlier today that went out. If you haven't got a chance to see that, make sure you guys go ahead and watch that video. But I was researching Pat Ricard, right? Just looking up his stats and stuff like that. So he's been in the league for a while now. Pat Ricard got, for his career, he got 11 carries. Let me see if that's right. I got my notes. For his career, I believe he's been in the league since like 2017. Might have been even earlier than that. But he been in a year. I mean, been in the league that long. He only has 11 carries for 22 yards and no touchdowns. And I was surprised at that because I've seen him have touchdown celebrations. But he don't got no rushing touchdowns. All of his touchdowns, and how many touchdowns? He has seven touchdowns in his career, all receiving touchdowns. And I just thought it was interesting. But also it lets me know that you don't have to worry about Pat Ricard complaining about not getting any carries. That man is a fullback through and through, 6'3", 300 pounds, fullback. That's it. But was he does have a part-time job as a receiver out of the backfield in the red zone. Also as a tight end. We saw in the OTAs that when he's doing his positional drills, he does the positional drills with the tight ends. So that's cool. Look, cool little tidbit to know. But when it comes to his receiving as a fullback, the man got 49 receptions, 323 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns. So every time that's cool to me. That's absolutely cool to me. So he adds that extra element. And then also, and me and Mark talked about this last week on the phone. We were like, the tight end room, you keep 3 tight ends because you got Pat Ricard. You might not need that 4th tight end because Pat Ricard can do it. So I'm happy to have Pat Ricard. To your point, Q Burrow, Pat Ricard equals the juggernaut. They call him Pancake Pat for a reason. And yeah, I can't wait to see this, man. Just imagine you being a linebacker or you being a safety and Pat Ricard is running at you and maybe able to dodge Pat Ricard, and then you got to run smack dab in a Cam Scatterbull. Come on, man. They might not pay you enough for that. I hope we do that to Dallas week 1. I hope that Pat Ricard is lead blocking for Cam Scatterbull and he finds Caleb Downs somewhere down there. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Air Force says no Diddy. That's a fact. I was leaning left for a while, man. Pause. Big Blue Reborn says just saw the backflip. Scat Pack is back. No more flips, though. I agree. Yeah, I don't want to see it, man. I don't want to see him backflipping. Like you broke your ankle, man. Or they broke your ankle. But I don't need to see you doing backflips. I didn't even want to see him after he hit the home run. I didn't even want to see him jog the bases. He ain't even got to do that. But he want to go out there and do backflips. But again, mentally, he's ready to go. So I'm rocking with it. I just don't need to see it anymore. Crazy. He landed it too, smooth. Wasn't nothing bad about it. Stuck the landing and all that. I just don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. Master of Coins says Diddy has purchased enough baby oil from Johnson & Johnson that the grass is bought and paid for. Kind of, right? Right? Should be. Right? It should be. Remember Larry Sanders? Yes, I do. Pancake Pat, just like to hit people. Now that's a fact. You ain't gotta worry about nothing else. He ain't gonna complain about. The man only got 11 carries, and I think he's been in the league for 10 years. 11 carries for 22 yards and no touchdowns. He is an absolute fullback, no doubt about it. No complaints. Lunch pail, hard hat. Point me to a defender so I can pancake him. That's it, man. And I'm here for that. Last fullback we had was who? What? Like a real fullback, Elijah Penny. And even Elijah Penny got a couple of handoffs. Pause. Carries. Who was a fullback before that? Don't remember, but it is what it is. Never mind that. Robert Sage says Pancake Pat is not a selfish player. He just wants to flatten people. I will say this though, man. In watching videos, and again, I put a clip in the video I did about the running backs earlier today, because I kept noticing a play that the Baltimore Ravens would use in the red zone. A couple different ways. They had him running out the flat, and they had him leaking into like the curl, into like almost like a curl route or up the seam. But nobody is worried about Pat Ricard. As many times that you watched, he scored 7 touchdowns receiving. But defense are never worried about Pat Ricard, sneaking out of the backfield and running out to the flat and getting open. But he got so many touchdowns that I'm hoping that the New York Giants have that play in the stash. It just makes too much sense. Because when you think about it, if you're in the goal line, and your goal line defense, and you already got Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart on the field, right? And you got Malik Neighbors on the field. You got Theo Johnson and likely on the. Yeah, the last thing you're worried about is what is Pat Ricard about to do? And guess what? That's how he ended up getting all these damn touchdowns, because the linebacker was late getting there because he's too busy peeking at the quarterback. And meanwhile, the quarterback's just holding that linebacker's attention just enough for Pat Ricard to get a little bit of space, touchdown. I need to see a couple of those this year. I need to see less Jackson Dart trying to be a battering ram inside the goal line, and let Pat Ricard handle it, man. Let's be smart. What they say, work smarter, not harder. Let's do that. Let's try to trick some people. At the end of the day, it's about hard-nosed football, so we will get a lot of that. But come on, opportunity is what opportunity is. Mark Thompson says, I think you checked the stats since the turf has changed in 2023. We are no different for injuries than the rest of the league, who have the same turf, and quite a few teams have the same turf. Now, I believe it's like 16 teams have the same turf, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a little bit of hoodoo. You know how superstition works, Mark. You know what it is. If anything happens anywhere in the area of MetLife, we're gonna blame that field. You know what I mean? Somebody can slip on their way to the top, we're gonna blame it on the MetLife field. It just has that little bit of aura about it. That's a fact. Q Burrow says Woody can team up with Diddy when he get out and get a new stadium, get them their own stadium. Now, listen, I don't care what they do. If we listen, I was watching a video, man. And they were talking about why MetLife looks the way that it looks, and how the Giants and the Jets agreed on just this regular looking stadium, because they didn't want it to lean more Giants or more Jets. So it's just this AC unit that we get to look at often. And I'm just thinking about that. Like, obviously that did make sense. And I remember seeing the designs. And when they first created the stadium, it didn't look as bad, right? It looked like, okay, cool, we got a new stadium. It looks pretty neat. It's all gray. But it was nice having a new stadium. And then right after that, you start seeing some of these other teams with these state of the art stadiums. You're sitting here like, man, we really paid over $1 billion for AC unit? Like, really? And shout out to my big brother, man. My big brother actually worked on that stadium when it was getting built, man. So shout out to you in the electricians unit, man. I mean, union out there. I don't know the exact union, but shout out to my big brother, man. And I'm still mad that they didn't give y'all tickets or nothing, man, when that stadium opened. They could at least gave the people that worked on that stadium, helped build the stadium, tickets to some games. I remember I was surprised when I found that out, when you said, nah, we ain't get no tickets. Y'all couldn't get tickets to the stadium, the opening game for the stadium? Nah, they didn't even do that. It is what it is. They could have put y'all in the nosebleed or something. Hynoski. Yeah, it might have been Hynoski before, because we was dealing with a lot of tight ends playing that H-back role, like Will Tye and some other people like that. But shout out to Hynoski, man. Madison Hedgecock was another one too. But Hynoski, Madison Hedgecock was another one. We had a couple good fullbacks, man, when we were more traditional, for sure. I don't even know what that means, K Young. A bunch of, I don't know what you're doing. That's code. You AI. I think you might be AI. The AI, they talk to each other. They got a secret language, computer language. I think K Young might be a part of that, man. Let me not talk too much though. End up getting shut down or something like that, right? Thunder says Maras are more so lawyers, I believe. I think John Mara was a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was. They're well off though. No, yeah. I mean, they're fine. Like both of those teams got bread, man. They're not sitting here broke. They're not as rich as some of these other owners. I will say that. But they're not hurting for money at all, man. It might be a ton of those Maras though. It might be a ton of those Maras. Sean Jackson, what's going on? Said, what up, Dash? Just checking in, watching the Spurs. OKC, me too. I'm watching it too. Spurs tend to be holding on to this lead right now. They up 8. I'm at the 3-minute 21 seconds and counting part. Third quarter. Let's see. SGA just tried to. Oh, I hate his flop. He's such a flopper. SGA is a flopper. Just flopping, and he getting 3 for that. Whatever. It is what it is. You said, I think Detroit too, as far as what the same field. That's what you mean? Let me know. Let me get back to my man. He says, yeah, hopefully, he said, what up, Dad? Just checking in, watching the Spurs OKC beat each other up. So hopefully the Knicks take out the survival. He says, whatever the New York Giants can do to keep their players healthy, then they need to do it. Nah, 100%. 100%. Maurice Carthon. What about Maurice Carthon? He was the old GM of the Titans. So did I miss something? Did I miss something? I'll be bringing up Maurice Carthon. I know he was talking dirty about the Giants, though, man, before the draft. I remember that. I do remember that. He said Giants need a lot, which he was telling kind of the truth, but, you know, it is what it is. What Maurice Carthon are you talking about? Wait a minute. Hold on. Remember Maurice Carthon, Kool-Aid Smile? Oh, I'm tripping. You talk about the fullback. I'm tripping. Thank you. I'm thinking you're talking about the GM for the damn Titans. Sneaky G, yeah. Sneaky G had him on shout out to Sneaky G, man. Sneaky G had him on on one of his live streams. Got a chance to talk to him. I'm bugging. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm sitting here talking about Carthon. Yeah, talking about the fullback. Thank you. He said I'm tripping. I am tripping. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, talking about the fullback. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are we talking about him? Thank you. Yep. D Knowles says Giants got some stubborn ass owners, man. Gettleman was pulling up to the draft with binders a few years ago, and they was cool with it. Yeah, he had binders for sure. He had binders. Jim Simpson said I'm bugging. Yeah, man, I was bugging for a second. I wasn't even thinking about Carthon like that. I was really, that's his name, Ryan Carthon. I was bugging. Thank you. I had to think about it. I was not in my Giants bag just now. But no, absolutely not. But Sneaky, I got a chance to talk to him. Sneaky G had him. Tiki Barber was on the show. Who else was it? Leonard Marshall was on the show too. So it was cool to get a chance to speak to all those guys, man. Giants legends for sure. But yeah, shout out to Sneaky G, man. Sneaky G works hard. If you're not subscribed to my man Sneaky G, man, make sure you guys do that. And for the people that don't know who I'm talking about, if you see his face, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Sneaky G, there's only one Sneaky G. When you see him, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Exactly. Big beard, the big oversized New York Giants hat at the games, at training camp, stuff like that. Shout out to my man Sneaky G, man. Gridiron Apex in the building. What's going on, man? As always, man, thank you for the love and support. Thank you for dropping in and showing some love, man, for sure. Thunder says, what a show, gotta check him out. Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, it was obviously it was me and a bunch of other Giants content creators, but it was Tiki, it was Leonard Marshall, it was Maurice Carthon, you know, in the building. So I thought it was super cool, man. Super cool. We didn't get Carl Banks. I know you tried to get Carl Banks on that show too. Didn't happen. I'm trying to get Carl Banks on this show, man. So anybody, if y'all know Carl Banks like that, man, tell Carl Banks to jump, you know, late night Giants talk. Just imagine that, man. Especially right now before the season starts. I'm trying to get that Carl Banks before the fans beat him up for his takes when the season starts and stuff like that. We know how we not fair when it comes to Carl Banks. I need to get Carl Banks on the show. Actually, I'm gonna have to reach out to Carl Banks, see if I can get it done. I reached out to him before. I think I had about 2,000 subscribers at the time. I ain't getting no love, but we'll see what happens. maybe now we can try to get him on the show again, man. You know what I mean? And again, that's my favorite Giants player too. I did get a chance to speak to Carl Banks though on Online Big Blue with Tim. Shout out to Tim. But Online Big Blue, he had Carl Banks on his show, and I was able to talk to Carl Banks for a little bit too, so that was dope. Thunder says my cousin just met Carl Banks and LT tonight. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I met the only other I met Carl Banks twice. Carl Banks was the first player, first Giants player that I've ever met in person, and that was during a fourth grade field trip to Giant Stadium. Carl Banks met Carl Banks then, and then I met Carl Banks I saw him at a shop. What mall was it? It was at one of the malls in Jersey. I don't know if it was Livingston or Short Hills Mall, but one of those malls. I saw him then, but I have not seen him since I was like a kid and stuff like that. Also Leonard Marshall. I met Leonard Marshall in person when I was like 8, 9 years old or something like that. So yeah, long time Giants fan, man. Yeah, I remember, man, as a kid. Quick story time, man. I wanted a Giants jersey so bad when I was a kid, right? And I remember going to the store and they only had one Giants jersey in there. And I'm gonna let you guys guess what Giant jersey they had. It was on sale for like $15. So we talking mid-90s, and somebody that was so bad that his jersey was on sale for $15. I'm taking guesses. Who was so bad in the mid-90s for the New York Giants that his jersey was only $15? Let me know. And I got that jersey too. And I wore that jersey proud until I got to school and somebody made fun of me because of whose jersey I had. Let me know, man. I want everybody to take a couple guesses. It ain't take them long at all. It ain't take him long. It was a Dave Brown jersey. It was a I'm crying. It was a Dave Brown jersey for sure. Not Dane, not Wade. Those were good guesses too. It was a Dave. I wanted a Giants jersey so bad. I wore that jersey once. I went to school. When I tell you I got fried for having a Dave, I walked into that school. I was so proud to have a Giants jersey on. Kids are so cruel, man. Kids are cruel. Boy, I walked in school. I'm sitting there with my Dave Brown jersey on. And they fried me, man. They fried me. Got fried. Freaking Dave Brown jersey, man. Maybe my big brother could tell me what happened to that damn jersey. But all I know was the damn Dave Brown jersey. I don't know what happened to that. I went home. I don't know if I was crying or not. But I never saw that Dave Brown jersey again. I don't know if my mother took it from me. I don't know what happened, but I was not putting on that Dave Brown jersey again. And also when I bought it, it was too big because it was like the last one left. It was $15. I might have been 12, 13. I don't know. Actually, no, I had to be younger than that because it was Dave Brown. I had to be way younger than that. The jersey was oversized. Yeah. I might have been 12. I might have been like 12. I'm trying to think now. I don't remember exactly what year that was. I could probably figure that out. But yeah, they fried me at school. It was crazy. OKC in the building, man. You surviving right now, man. You can't say nothing yet. You got to get past these Spurs, man. Get past these Spurs, and then we can have this conversation, man. Get past these Spurs, man. Somebody let me know what the score is. A commercial came on. I don't know what the score is. I'm talking trash to my man OKC Donald, and I don't know the score right now. Maybe the Thunder came all the way back. I don't know. I don't know. Thunder says, I always wanted a Bavaro jersey. He says, but I always had an LT and Banks. I wore the number in Pop Warner. My first year playing Pop Warner football, I wore number 58 because of Carl Banks, man. My favorite player. Yep, that was in Union. The Pop Warner. Shout out to Coach Greg Sola at the time. That was my first ever football coach, Coach Sola, him and his brother. But shout out to Greg Sola. But yeah. Yeah, man. 58 was the truth, man. Carl Banks was nice. I remember going back and watching the playoff run and also the Super Bowl from '86. Carl Banks, man, if it wasn't for Carl Banks in that game, Carl Banks was, well, obviously Phil Simms was cooking too, but Carl Banks was cooking on defense in that Super Bowl, man, in '86. D Knowles says I was wearing a Kenny Phillips. Kenny Phillips was nice though. He was always injured, but he was nice. Kenny Phillips was nice, and then he went ahead and went to Philly, and then he disappeared. I don't know where he's at right now. Don't care. Went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Him and the wide receiver we had, Steve Smith, who was Eli Manning's security blanket for a couple of years. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles and disappeared too. Steve Smith was reliable though. Shout out to Steve Smith, man. Thunder says Carl Banks was a great. Carl Banks should be a Hall of Famer, no doubt. No doubt. What is it right now? 70. I got what? Oh man. OKC came back. And I see why OKC Donald is talking the way that he's talking in the chat right now for sure. Skate says poor Cat never gets called like the Spurs. Oh, listen. They got to do something, man. But Cat be falling all over the place, though. We got to be honest. Cat be putting himself in those predicaments where he got to fall. And Cat fall in slow motion. Big Cat be falling in... Carl Anthony be falling in slow motion. It's hilarious, man. He fall down in sections, man. It's the knees, the hips, and the shoulders. And that's how he falls down every time in sections. In sections. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, man. Shout out to Jersey, man. Shout out to Cat. I think Cat from Edison, too, man. That's funny. Shout out to Jersey, man. Corky says you should hear Bavaro talk about Carl Banks. Awesome. I think they talk about each other highly, too, man. Talking about making each other better. Imagine those practices. Imagine how tough those practices were. You Bavaro, you over there looking at Carl Banks looking at Bavaro, man. That's history right there, for sure. Those kind of battles in practice, man. Anthony Cherry says, yeah, John Madden loves Steve Smith. Is that a fact? Maybe. I know Eli Manning loves Steve Smith. Like Eli Manning used to throw up some prayers for Steve Smith. Steve Smith just come down with it. That's one thing about Eli. Remember, Eli used to throw some ducks, man. I'm getting all off track, man. We got to talk about the wide receiver battle. We're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about this running back room, too. We're going to get into that. But Eli Eli used to throw some ducks, man. For real. Eli used to throw some ducks. Thunder says those guys all talk good about each other. They were close. No, that's a fact. It's a true team. Those guys were getting into trouble too off the field, man. Like some of those stories that these guys have, man, some of the stuff they can't tell us. Yeah. Okay, here come OKC. Thunder up fourth quarter. Here you go. Listen, man, again, I'm for you, I hope so. But I can't wait. Wednesday. First game of the finals is Wednesday. I can't wait. Isaac Moore says Peyton threw some geese. So you got one brother throwing ducks, the other one throwing geese. That's hilarious. Luann says, I bought Dexter's jersey last season. Come on now. Listen. It's too late now. But I wish I would have told you earlier. I told you sooner. I don't buy jerseys. I stopped. The last jersey I bought was a Tiki Barber jersey back in like 2001, 2002, whatever, right? I had a Tiki Barber jersey. I made a promise to myself. I'm not buying anybody's jersey or any active player's jersey. If I'm getting a jersey, it's going to be somebody that's retired. 100%. And the jersey that I've been, and again, it's been a long time since I bought a jersey. You figure over 20 years. And I'm thinking about getting a jersey. My wife also said, you never got any jersey. My wife, you should see, my wife got so many Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys. It's crazy. She just got a Joey Porter jersey too. She was rocking it today when we was running errands. And she said, you ain't got no Giant jerseys. And I was like, you're absolutely right. If I do get a jersey, I might get the Carl Banks Super Bowl jersey. I might need to do that. I don't buy jerseys at all. He said, not even Dart. I don't buy jerseys at all. I don't. Nope. But if I'm buying like LT, Carl Banks, those probably the only ones on my list right now that I would get. Not even like a Strahan, maybe two. Strahan, maybe two. Maybe. Kai Vase, I think, or Kai Vase, he says, we're going to be banged up, but we're going to be competitive. It's the Ravens' way. Hard practices will develop depth players, something we haven't done in years. Now, that's a fact. Reckless says Dash Dave Brown is retired. Nah, we ain't doing that. That's hilarious, though. You pretty quick. Nah, that's hilarious. You ain't got to worry about that Dave Brown jersey, man. Not at all. Not at all. Nope. No, sirree, Bob. Corky says, you think these practices are hard? No, I don't. I don't think they're hard at all. It's OTAs. They're not doing much. They're not even hitting. We talking about ligaments being hurt. Like, no, it's not practice. It has nothing to do with the practice these guys are going down. They are not practicing that damn hard. Especially for somebody like Roy Robinson Harris to go down with a torn Achilles. That got nothing to do with practice. What are they doing in the trenches right now? Really? What are they doing in the trenches? And I don't even know what part of practice he went down in. Again, we didn't get that kind of information. All we heard was Roy Robinson Harris is down. They had to bring out the cart for him. Gunnar Olszewski's down. It doesn't look good. They got to bring out the cart for him. They didn't say he was running around and he went down. They didn't say, oh, he was trying to get around the lineman and he went down. Talk about Roy Robinson Harris. No. We don't even know what happened with Thaddeus Dixon when he went down. They just say, oh, the guy went down, torn Achilles. And that's all we get. And then we're left to our own thoughts and speculations. And the first thing we do is blame it on the field. Why not? Right? Why not? Stephen R. said it might not be good luck for Dash. Why me? As far as I know, the Dart jerseys tripled. They made some bread. Kubro says, let Trump buy a Dart jersey for you. He got my money. Somebody got the money, man. We paying taxes out here for what? So they could put up a UFC match on White House lawn, I guess, right? Isaac Moore says Plaxico is a good jersey, actually. That wouldn't be a bad jersey to get. That's another number 17, though. And the last time I had a number 17 Giants jersey wasn't a good one. So, but that's another number 17 though. But Plaxico jersey is fire though. That's fire. Any other jerseys with the Super Bowl patches is you get extra kudos for that, man. Extra kudos. JJ the King says, Dash, when I was in school, I've had bootleg New York Giants Eli Manning jersey after we won the Super Bowl 46. I went to school wearing the jersey with pride that day. Did you know it was bootleg when you went to school though? That's the question. Sometimes you, especially if you were a kid at the time, you might not know it's bootleg. So, but unless you're talking about something with like, did you know? Did you know? That's the question. Did you know it was bootleg when you went to school? Because if you knew it was bootleg when you went to school, then you was already in trouble. Especially if you was in Jersey or New York. You can't wear nothing counterfeit. Especially, I don't know how old you are. I know, especially late 90s for me, as far as high school, early 2000s for me when it came to high school, stuff like that, you couldn't wear nothing fake. I remember. Never mind. We ain't even get to that part of the show yet, but we can start reminiscing about the old days. So let's get back on track. Let's talk about the wide receiver battle, man. Let's talk about the wide receiver battle. And of course, again, we got a chance to see Malik Nabers today look a little bit better on his legs, participating in dodgeball again. I don't know who okayed that. I think if I'm Jackson Dart and I see Malik Nabers out there trying to play dodgeball, I'm probably going to handcuff him. I'm grabbing him up and walking him over to the sideline, like when you help an old person cross the street. That's it. Somebody should have told Malik Nabers, no, Malik, you don't need to be playing dodgeball at a charity event. And you just had a cleanup, man. What we talking about? Let's talk about the rest of these wide receivers, though, man. So the good thing about all this stuff is this. Obviously, no Nabers, no Slayton, now no Gunnar Olszewski. As far as OTAs go, you're the people that you've been hearing about the most: Malachi Fields, Calvin Austin. I haven't even heard much about Mooney, Darnell Mooney, but I have. They're constantly talking about Calvin Austin, man. And again, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I do like patting myself on the back and telling people I told you so. Sometimes I get a little bit petty. I told people about Calvin Austin, man. Again, this is only OTAs. But I was already talking about Calvin Austin, man, and how much of an impact he could possibly have. Hold on a second. Just got to make sure that ain't Mrs. Dash. Yeah, it is Mrs. Dash talking about get a jersey. See, my wife told me I need to get a jersey. But yeah, no, Calvin Austin. And it's funny because, again, she did not want to lose Calvin Austin at all. And then now I get a chance to root for him. So let me shut up, though, because I don't want to sleep on the couch today. But no, man, Calvin Austin, to me, is not surprising to see or to hear about and read about how much chemistry is being built between him and Jackson Dart. I'm not surprised at all. Not even sneaky athletic. Now he's a smaller wide receiver for sure. But we keep talking about the loss of Caruso tried to dunk on Wemby. That's crazy. And he almost got it. Wemby needs to stop waving his fingers like Mutombo, though. I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, so but when it comes to Calvin Austin, we talked about what we're going to be missing with Wan'Dale Robinson. No, when you get having Calvin Austin is a plus, and we're already seeing that in OTAs. There has not been one practice, one OTA, and we had 6 OTAs so far that Calvin Austin was not mentioned. You didn't hear much about Malachi Fields. You haven't heard much about Isaiah Likely. You haven't heard much about Darnell Mooney. You haven't heard much about a lot of people, but you have been hearing Calvin Austin, day after day. And for me, I'm loving it because when we talk about who's going to be there when Malik Nabers is not there or Slayton's not there, Calvin Austin is a sneaky, productive player, wide receiver, also on the special team. So I'm loving hearing the news about Calvin Austin. Now, when we talk about Darnell Mooney, right? Darnell Mooney, right now, I think a lot of people have him penciled in as either wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, depending on where Slayton and where Malachi Fields are. A lot of people want to give Malachi Fields the wide receiver 2 spot, and I'm going to tell people to pump the brakes just a little bit because of how these guys are going to be played out there. Now, depending on when Malik Nabers comes back, then we'll know exactly what the plan is for Malachi Fields. So I'm going to sit back and just reserve some judgment on not having or not hearing about Darnell Mooney, because I would love to hear his name mentioned more, but we're not hearing much about Mooney. So Stephen R says, Mooney or Austin, who gets 1,000 yards first? I don't think either one of those guys will get 1,000 yards, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're gonna do it. Just because when you think about who the main targets are gonna be. Again, if Malik Nabers is ready by week 1, he's 1,000-yard receiver. You would hope that Isaiah Likely gets close to 1,000 yards, but everybody outside of that, like, I don't see 1,000 yards for Malachi Fields, and I'm not saying that because I think these guys are going to be bad. No, I think Jackson Dart can throw for 3,500. I think that'd be a nice number for him, 3,500 yards. 27, 28 touchdowns would be a nice number to have for Jackson Dart as far as passing touchdowns. But I think he can get to that 3,500 yards without having multiple 1,000-yard receivers. Now, if he can do it, then more power to him. But I don't think Mooney or Austin are in that 1,000-yard area when we get to the end of the season. But if you feel differently, let me know, Steven. But yeah. You figure with Austin, I don't think Austin has had more than like 400 yards in the season. I would have to look that up. Just thinking about it, because he was like the third option. He was playing behind Metcalf last year. Before that, he was playing behind Pickens and stuff years before that. So I don't think he ever had more than like 400 plus. So we'll see what happens. Side Guy Bryce says, I love to see 5 or 6 wide receiver tight ends with 500 plus yards. If you do something like that, that means somebody cooking. We talking about 5,000 yards for a quarterback. If 5 to 6 guys get 500 yards, not really, but I'm over exaggerating. 500 plus. Because again, you get a good year for Malik this year. If he cracks 1,000 yards, it's fantastic coming off of the ACL. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't hit 1,000 because he's coming off of that ACL. But guys like Darius Slayton, guys like Malachi Fields, it depends on what Jackson Dart is doing. If somebody were to get 1,000 yards outside of Malik Neighbors, I think and outside Isaiah Likely, maybe Malachi Fields, because of the 50-50 ball aspect of it. And if he can catch a couple 50-50 balls, then cool. What you laughing at, Simi? Let me know what you laughing at, man. Oh, no, I see it now. He says OKC finished. OKC Donald says you finished. Keep that energy when we celebrating OKC. Okay, yeah, nah. Listen, man. Yeah, I peeked at the score. I see the score, man. OKC, man. Listen, you just won one last year, didn't he? Didn't you just win one last year too? Hey, guess for you, I'm rooting for you. Side guy Bryce says 1,000 yards passing for Dart. I'm sorry, 3,000 yards passing for Dart. 3,000 yards, he should hopefully hits that easily. 3,500 for me is a goal for Jackson Dart. 3,500, I think, is a good place to be. 3,000 ain't bad either. What last year you had? What 24? Yeah, like 2,400 yards last year. So 3,000 makes sense. But if he plays a full, 17 games, he should get well over 3,000, man. He should be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000. So 3,500 is halfway. Thunder says 3,500 is good. Yeah, I think so, especially with how much I think we're going to run the ball or how much we expect to run the ball. 3,500 yards for Jackson Dart in the sophomore year. Again, somewhere in the 20s, mid to high 20s for touchdowns, just passing touchdowns. If he can hit, over 30 total touchdowns, then yeah, that'd be a good year for Jackson Dart, and it will show progression for sure. Hold on, Rev. 4,000 and a half. Listen, if Jackson Dart throws for 4,500 yards, he might be in the MVP talks. Let's be honest. I told you, OKC, man. Listen, somebody got to hit Wemby in the ribs, man. He ain't even on the court. Oh, yes, he is. I'm about to say he ain't even on the court right now, but he is. Somebody got to hit him in the ribs, man. Nice little elbow to the ribs for Wemby, man. Look at him. His frame can't take it. Them old New York Knicks will do it. Old New York Knicks will tenderize them ribs, man. He couldn't even hold his arms up. JJ the King says Dart 5K and 30 touchdowns. We talking about going to the Super Bowl, then we talking about 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. We playing in February with those kind of numbers. What? I gotta believe that to see it. Listen, man, I said 3,500, and that's a good season for him. You talking 5,000? Yeah. Let me know where you get the stuff that you get, and it must be good to you. 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. That's fantastic. He said, hell yeah. I'm with Thunder, man. I wish. How much time you got? You got enough time to come back, man, OKC. You got enough time. Okay, nice step back jumper. I'm a little bit behind you though. Pause on the game. though. I just saw the shot from SGA. Luann says Dart had those numbers in college, 4,030. That's college though, man. And that's Lane Kiffin's offense. Lane Kiffin was super duper quarterback friendly. For sure. And also, like I said, that's college. But listen, I all these numbers, I'll take it. I absolutely take it. Ole Miss wasn't running the ball like that, though. When we got 5 fouls, yeah. Steve says, Knicks chip, Giants next. Yeah, I take it. I need that Super Bowl by 2029, though. That's when I need that Super Bowl. I'll take it before 2029. I just need the Super Bowl by 2029. We're trying to keep the streak alive for 50 years. A Super Bowl in every decade since the 80s. I need that. I need that Super Bowl by 2029 for sure. I'm not saying Super Bowl, Rev, right now. I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm saying I need a Super Bowl by 2029. I'm not saying a Super Bowl in 2026, but I will take it. You saying the playoffs. I want to be, listen, I'm here for all that, man. I'm here for all that. All right, let's talk about these running backs, man. Let's talk about the running back room before we get out of here. We're at the hour and a half mark. The show is 2 hours long. And yeah, Thunder says, I need that streak too. I need that streak for sure. I need one every decade for sure. We got the 80s, we got the 90s, we got the 2000s, we got the 2010s. I need one in the 2020s before we get up out of here. It's a fact. Stephen R says, I'd rather have high touchdown numbers for Dart than 5K, but I ain't mad at either. Oh, I'm definitely taking the Super Bowls. I'm sorry, Super Bowls. Good Lord. I'm definitely taking the touchdowns over the yards every day, twice on Sunday for sure. So let's talk about the running backs, man, and how I don't believe that people are giving, and not saying us in the chat or us watching the stream. I don't think that Cam Scatterbull is getting the love that he should be getting. I remember all of you guys, man, figuratively speaking. I remember everybody saying you gotta get Love. You gotta get Jeremiah Love. We need Jeremiah Love, and we didn't get Jeremiah Love. We didn't get him. But the Cam Scatterbull effect on the New York Giants, man, is undeniable. And when you look at his grades, if you look at Cam Scatterbull's grades for that small sample size of a season in 2025, just imagine what he would have been able to do if he would have played the entire season. And again, he got cut short due to a dirty tackle by Zach Bond. But 3 running backs, man. So I'm gonna pose another question. I haven't asked too many questions tonight. Do you agree that the New York Giants only keep 3 running backs? Let me know in the comment section right now. Do you agree that we only keep 3 running backs? And that does not include Pat Ricard. I'm keeping Pat Ricard by himself because he's a fullback. But as far as the running back rotation, the running back by committee, do you think the New York Giants only keep 3 running backs? Let me know in the comment section. Stephen R says 3 definitely. Sleazy says yes. Okay, cool. So we on the same page for the most part. And shout out to all the people that didn't say anything yet. JJ the King says yes. Okay. When I'm doing these roster reviews, right, and I've completed the defensive side of the ball for the roster reviews. The running back one was the first one I did on the offensive side of the ball. And so far, for me, out of all of the positions that I've done already, as far as review these roster groups, I'm probably the most satisfied, most comfortable with the running back room. I'm like, obviously, you always want to improve. But when I'm looking at what the roster is right now, shout out to everybody else still saying yes. Okay. Stephen R says Dart is a running back also. Yeah. Rev said yes. Mark says yes. Okay. Anthony Cherry says yes. When you think about the running back room for me, and I know a lot of people wanted to get rid of Devin Singletary. They didn't like how much money he was making. Felt like he wasn't worth the money. He did take a pay cut. He's not making a lot of money now. But Devin Singletary as the third running back, your third running back in your rotation, there's not too many third running back options just looking around the league that are better than Devin Singletary. And he's our third running back. I think that's fantastic for the New York Giants. Because he's shown even when Cam Scatterbull went down, he was able to perform when needed. He was able to have some ball security, no fumbles this year. Because remember that first year we got him. He had some pretty big fumbles in back-to-back games. One of them, I think, contributed to the loss against the Washington Commanders in 2024. But let's not cry over spilled milk. But Devin Singletary, overall grade 71, and this is according to PFF. 72.3 rushing grade, and then of course his receiving grade is low, but we don't look at him as a threat in the receiving game. 119 carries, 437 yards, 5 touchdowns on the ground. Had another 18 receptions, 151 yards receiving, and then only had 1 drop. Devin Singletary, I'm claiming right now, Devin Singletary, and it's not saying much. Devin Singletary is the best third option for a running back in the league. We got the best number 3 running back in the league with Devin Singletary, because for a lot of people, it would be, who's that? Good rebound and putback. Sheesh, 104.93. I think OKC just called another timeout. They down 11 points right now. OKC Donald, I don't know, brother. It's looking grim. But nah, Devin Singletary, fantastic third option to have. Now, Tyrone Tracy, and somebody was commenting in the comment section of that video about Tyrone Tracy. And why y'all getting on my man OKC? He might have to stop and get himself a drink after this. But nah, Tyrone Tracy as your second running back in the running back committee. I think a lot of people, well, I'm a fan of Tyrone Tracy, I'll say that. And I think a lot of people are fans of Tyrone Tracy because of his versatility. Another year where he had 1,000 yards total, 1,000 yards total yards from scrimmage. Successful year for him, 176 carries, 740 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, average 4.2 yards a carry. That's fantastic numbers for Tyrone Tracy. OKC Donald, yeah, it's bad, brother. It's bad. What was that? Good Lord. But no, Tyrone Tracy being the second option in this running back rotation is fantastic to me. Versatility, I think, sneaky, explosive. He doesn't have like the breakaway speed that you would want, especially with a wide receiver background. But Tyrone Tracy has broken on big plays, so I think that's solid too for him. And then, of course, say the best for last, Cam Scatterbull. I'm giving him a lot more credit than I guess other people will. Let's see what Rev says. Tyrone Tracy is a threat for sure. True. Thunder says Tracy is a great option to have. That's a fact. JJ the King says as long as Singletary keep the ball in his hands, pause, I'm okay with him staying. Again, he's cleaned up the fumbles. Not 1 fumble last year from Devin Singletary on 119 carries. So I think it's helping him that he's worked that out. Because even when he was with the Texans, he wasn't known to be a fumbler, really. But that first year with the Giants, he coughed up the ball a lot in some very, very important areas of the game. Wish he would lower his pads more. I think that comes from his wide receiver background, though, because he does run high. But also he's a tough runner too, man. He breaks a lot of tackles, man, and he keeps his legs pumping. But he does run high. You're absolutely right. He does run high. Stephen R says, is running back a trade target? I don't think so. If all these guys are healthy, those are your running backs for the year. Now let's talk about some guys lower on the totem pole. Somebody brought it up earlier with Damon Bankston, right? And they asked if the injury to Gunnar Olszewski helps Damon Bankston's chances of making the 53. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I think it's a long shot already for Damon Bankston, but what happens with Gunnar Olszewski does not affect Damon Bankston's spot, ability to make the team. Now, I could be absolutely wrong, and for Damon Bankston's sake, I hope I am wrong, and I hope he does make the team for his sake. But you tell me where he's going to fit in, because when we talk about not having a returner because Gunnar Olszewski's down, that's why you have Calvin Austin for sure. What Rev says, Cam Scatterbull sets the vibe for this group. Absolutely, that's 100%. Stephen R says, which position do you think the Giants will trade for post June 1st? If so, for who? If they trade for anything, it'll probably be like a cornerback or either offensive line, in my opinion. I think they're pretty much set at tight end. They're set at running back. They're set at quarterback. They're set at maybe defensive line too, possibly, but no, who's really out there? So defensive line, offensive line, and what did I say? Cornerback. If they trade for anybody or add anybody, it'd probably be along those positional groups. Hirsch for real said, keep an eye on Gray. I kept an eye on Gray for 2 seasons, man. Like I can't I can't do it anymore. He's in that same boat as Hyatt to me, man. When you needed him, he wasn't healthy. When you needed him, he wasn't his fault. He didn't perform that well. But I was a guy that was high on Eric Gray. The only way Eric Gray makes the team is if he has a fantastic training camp preseason, then one of the top 3 guys get hurt. That's the only way that he makes it. And Turbo Miller is a fan favorite for a lot of people. He never got a chance, and I believe it was dumb that he didn't get a chance last year when the Giants went into some games only having 2 running backs on the roster on the active 53, or I should say with game jerseys. And we never got a chance to see Turbo Miller outside of preseason. So it is what it is. Dino says Gray is a bum. I can't even argue against that. I try to be nice right now, and like I want to defend Gray, but I can't. So I won't. Respectfully. Is it G Rastafari? Wait a minute. G Rastafari. Farad, right? I'm assuming. It says, why not sign Stefon? I don't want Stefon Diggs nowhere near this team, bro. I don't. Like a couple years ago, his talent and all that other stuff was fantastic, but I can't put Diggs in the locker room with neighbors and expect neighbors to be able to behave himself. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Rev says I'll choose Turbo over Gray. Both of those guys are most likely practice squad guys, though, Rev, to be honest. And I would love to give Turbo, like, even I would say yes to Turbo over Gray right now, too. But again, I don't think either one of those guys make the 53. Hirsch for real says definitely not 50 Shades of Gray. Oh, man. Oh, boy. D knows. You're not wrong. He says you want Diggs in New York with these Bronx PRs. You know what you're talking about, Puerto Ricans. You crazy. That's hilarious. We got OKC fighting back. They fighting back. Let's see what happened right now. The score I have is 107-101. Look like they feed the ball down to Wemby. Wemby at the top of the paint. Kicks it out to Castle. Castle gets stripped. OKC got the ball. SGA coming up the court. I might be behind you guys. If I am, I'll stop trying to do the play-by-play. SGA top of the key. Step back 3. Air ball. Step back 3 air ball from SGA. Good Lord. What we talking about? What are we talking about? Jim Simpson in here. He trolling, talking about Slade to the Pro Bowl. I think you trolling, Jim. I think you trolling. Is 3 in the possible? I got 3 in the possible already. Pause. And then pause. I'm caught up now. I'm caught up now with the pauses. Stephen R says Brunson would never step back air ball. Nope, not happening from Brunson. Nope. Last time I saw Brunson step back 3, it was right on Harden. Pause. There you go. I got you, Jonathan Pride. I got you. Right on, right on key. Hirsch for real says Knicks got this. Stephen R says Captain Clutch, absolutely. And this running back conversation is over, man. Cam Skattebo is the truth. Heart and soul of this team is Cam Skattebo. Heart and soul of the offense, too, is Cam Skattebo. Yeah. And I think that Cam Skattebo definitely has 1,000 yards rushing this season. And he actually becomes, I think he's already like a household name anyway. But I think that, he's going to have a fantastic sophomore season in a run-heavy offense that Harbaugh wants to see. We're going to lead the running backs at that. Simeon says done. 6-point game, 42.9 seconds left on the clock. It looks like the Spurs have the ball. Timeout. I don't know who called the timeout, though. So now we're going to open it up, man. Pause to any conversation you guys want to have in the chat before we get up out of here. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. If you guys just want to watch the rest of this game, we can do that too. But yeah, we vibing, man. We vibing. Shout out to everybody already that's still in the building. Shout out to 100 people still in the building. Again, please hit that like button. It does more than you guys even know when it comes to the algorithm. Stephen R says, Knicks fans, we want this to go into OT. You want them tired before the game on Wednesday, huh? Jim Simpson says, I meant scat to the Pro Bowl. Oh yeah, I think that's something that's gonna happen easily. Skate says, go Knicks, Brunson King in New York. That's a fact. Shout out to Frank White. I think we good. Airball. That's a fact. I think we good. We caught up with all this. Yeah, so wouldn't be gonna be tough. Yeah, it wouldn't be gonna be tough, man. Again, you got to hit his ribs though. That's it. Stephen R says, who's an underrated candidate to make the Pro Bowl this year on offense and defense? Kayvon Thibodeau. I'll say Kayvon Thibodeau on defense. I will also say on defense, Edmonds. I would say as an underrated candidate. Javon Holland. I'm hoping he has a bounce back season, Pro Bowl worthy. On the offensive side, did Andrew Thomas get snubbed last year too? SGA driving. Oh my God, what was that? Somebody act like they want to score. There it is. No good. Somebody follow your shot. If you would have followed your shot. Oh, they got it. SGA kicks it out. Is that Dort? Air ball. Okay. Look like we got a foul on the court though. Where was I at? And then on offense, we'll love to see Dart make the Pro Bowl. We'll love to see Neighbors in the Pro Bowl. Those not underrated candidates. I'll say Theo Johnson for underrated candidate to make the Pro Bowl. Isaiah Likely is another offensive candidate I would love to see make the Pro Bowl. And maybe somebody on the offensive line, man. I would love for John Michael Schmidt to be a Pro Bowl center. We talk about what's important to the team. I'll say that. That's a great question, though. Something to think about. Shout out to my man Jonathan Pride with the $10 super chat. Says, oh boy, laughing my mother off. Yeah, I'm here, King. It ain't safe. I've been hit. His ribs is insane. Yeah, listen, you know what I mean. Back in the day, if somebody playing a little too good on the court, elbow to the ribs, man. Elbow to the ribs. You know what it is. Hard foul. Isaac Moore says, over, Johnny. I didn't see it yet. 17 seconds left. Yeah. I'm looking at the play right now. I know Jay Williams ain't about to shoot that. What are you doing? Eating up the what? Yeah. My man OKC, man. I got something for you, OKC, man. I do apologize, but we're gonna have a little fun.
Nah. Hey.
Bye, OKC. Goodbye. Knicks versus Spurs Wednesday night. Tune in for that one. Knicks Spurs. Time for some get back. I said, and listen, OKC Donald, with all love and respect. With all love and respect. With all respect. Sorry, man, I ain't gonna mess with you, man. I ain't gonna mess with you. You good with me, man. You good with me. Jim Simpson says, please hit the like button. Please do. Leave him alone, man. JJ the King, leave him alone. Let him be. Oh man, see, here you go. Here you go now. Now all of a sudden, now they're gonna sweep the Knicks.
Hey.
Goodbye to the OKC Thunder. I was gonna let you live too, OKC. Damn, dog. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Nah, that's all love. Dope Dad says, Big Dash, what free agent still out there that you wish we had? Odell. That's it. Odell. Somebody on the offensive line possibly right now. Odell. I don't think anybody else is still left. I don't want Diggs. I don't want what's the chubby Debo? The chubby receiver Debo Samuels. Don't want Debo Samuels. Yeah. So probably Odell, man. Odell. See, OKC, man. What we doing, man? What we doing? We ain't had a chip in 50 years, man. In 50 years. Come on, man. Come on, man. Spurs won what? Like when the Spurs? When the last time Spurs? I don't even care. Knicks versus Spurs Wednesday night. Game 1. Yeah. Knicks are taking it. Listen, man, if the Knicks win the chip, boy, they're gonna have to call a National Guard in New York City. Because they're gonna tear New York City up. Knicks win a chip, oh boy. They would, yeah. Oh boy. Knicks win a chip, they're gonna tear New York up. Parts of New Jersey too. Parts of Connecticut too. Yeah. This thing, listen, it writes itself, man. Storylines write themselves. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. All jokes aside, it's going to be a hell of a matchup between the Knicks and the Spurs, man. We're going to definitely need that A game, especially with those Castle and Vassell will be running around making plays. We gonna need Mikal. Mikal got to do his thing. Hart got to do his thing, and we need these guys shooting threes and making them too. You really mad, man? He is really mad. Good Lord, you don't like the Knicks at all. Listen, man. Hey, guess what, man? You still got the Giants at the end of the day. Stephen R says Batman might appear that day in the parade. Yeah, they're gonna need Batman and everybody. Batman, Robin, Nightwing, all of them. Listen, don't troll this man because he just lost, man. We can't troll anybody going into a chip, man. We need all the good hoodoo imaginable. No bad hoodoo going into this finals, man. It's gonna be primetime television, though, for sure. Primetime television for sure. Yeah, y'all some trollers, man. Y'all in here trolling my man OKC. And look at Luann. Luann throwing jabs at the end. I'm glad OKC lost. What Shannon Sharp said, I had fish with less flop than SGA. That's crazy. That's a bar. Thunder says it's okay, better off getting on that wagon now. We gonna close this thing down, man. I appreciate everybody for vibing, man. Almost at the 2-hour mark. It's a little bit early, but hey, it dried up a little bit. Kenya says Shai was out there playing by himself. Fact. Green Lantern endorses the Knicks. Shout out to the Green Lantern for sure. Stephen R says that'll be the day the Dark Knight and the Joker decide to make peace for the Knicks. Yeah. You know Draco, what's going on? He says, yo, Big Dads, what's good? What's going on, Draco, man? How you doing, yo? How you doing, man? It's over now, man. Show's over. Stephen R says, Ayuk. Nope. I'm not messing with Ayuk. Nope. I don't even know if he want to play football anymore. Have you seen Ayuk? Has anybody seen Ayuk? I don't know. Corky says you got your rematch. That's a fact. We got a rematch coming up. Boy, oh boy. I ain't gonna lie, man. This should be a good series, though. I definitely don't think it's a sweep. I'll say that much. I think it's gonna be a good game. We're gonna see exactly what the Knicks is built, how these Knicks are built, because them Spurs, man, they got some tough players, some athletic players too. So I need Hart and Bridges, man, doing their thing. And OG, feel free, OG, to not have a game off. Feel free, OG. Mitchell Robinson, hopefully they tape his finger up and he's good to go too. And I hope Cat can hit a couple threes. Shout out to Red with the $2 super chat, says, bro, OKC only hurt people. Man, at least you got a sense of humor at the end of the day. He laughing at Reb's comment too. Yeah, man. Kenya says, let's go Knicks. That's a fact. Knicks in 6. That's what's up. Yeah, we want them to win. That's a fact. Catch OKC Thunder's championship this decade. Yeah, hey, listen. Been over 50 years, man. Orange and blue skies, man. Orange and blue skies. It's a fact. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. So we got a couple roster reviews coming out this week. Still sticking on the offensive side of the ball because that's what's left. Let me know in the comment section. I did the running backs today. Let me know what other offensive positional group you want me to do next. Go ahead, put it in the chat. We'll see what happens, man. And whoever gets the most votes before we get out of here, that'll be the next video to drop for the roster reviews. But again, it's all peace in Giants land. All is well right now, at least on the surface. Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart have hugged and made amends. And now we're just waiting for everybody else to shut up and wait for football. So we'll see what happens. My man Q Burrows says peace. Chris Caleb said, I just came back from LPG softball game. Can confirm Dart and Abdul are all good. That's a fact. I was talking about that too earlier, Chris. Shout out to you for being there. Scat did it back. He giving me the rundown. Yep, we talked about that too. Stephen R says, need Maui Noah generational right guard. That's a fact. If he can do that too. What's up with Hyatt? Nothing. Nothing's up with Hyatt. Nothing. Kenya says, yo, Dash, are you happy with the CB room? I am cautiously optimistic with the CB room. It just depends on if Polson Adebo can step up and be who we thought he was going to be and how fast Colton Hood cracks the starting lineup. That's what I think. Stephen R says, do the hog mollies next. That makes a lot of sense. And you might be right when it comes to that. Chris Caleb says, I met OBJ. I think I might have saw a Twitter feed. Might have been you. I saw a lot of people taking pictures with OBJ, so that's what's up. I saw that line was long as hell too, though, Chris. Line was super long. Fonzarelli said, "Go Knicks." What's going on, Fonzarelli? Where we at? Uncle G-Man, what's going on? He says, "How's it go? How it goes? How goes it?" Dash. How's all my Giants fam doing? We chilling, man. Show's over. We wrapping up, man. We wrapping up. If you didn't get a chance to see the entire show, go back and give it a watch. It was a good show tonight. Good family reunion for the Giants family. MKM says Knicks versus Spurs payback. I'm hoping so. Skate says, glad we got Hood. Our cornerback room was thin. True. Very true. Vaporizer says, can't imagine a world where we're dealing with all of this without Harbaugh, Jameis, and the other leaders who stepped up to deconflict the situation. As men, I truly believe the team will be stronger. Yeah, man, listen, with everything that happened the past week and then having that, the charity game was cool. You got a chance to see these guys, come together as brothers, and then we got them going to West Virginia, man, and that'll definitely make a family out of this roster for sure. Sean Jackson says, Dash, I was 23 years old when the Knicks lost to the Spurs in 99. Now I'm 50 years old and the Knicks better win. I'm hoping so, man. That's crazy, right? When you think about it. Ain't that crazy? Damn, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, man. Stephen R says, another non-contact injury I see. Oh, you must have just got here. You must be watching this video from the beginning. Rashidi Brown says, what up, Dash? Seeing Leak gingerly moving that right leg, shaking my head. Yeah, he shouldn't have been out there playing dodgeball at all. And then Thunder says, I hope the upgrades on the O-line can help improve JMS this year. I think it will. Otherwise, we need to move on. It's a contract year for him. So if we're going to see the best out of JMS, it's going to be this year for sure. Pete Wine says, damn, you still up, Dash? Yeah, I'm getting off right now. I'm about to get off right now. Jameis is a great personality. Now, that's a fact. I love the way the coach handled the situation. Now, that's a fact, man. I'm happy to have Harbaugh in the building. He basically said he let the players figure it out. You know, he didn't want to dictate how they should act and behave and feel about certain things. Let the men be men and handle the situation, and they did so. So for me, I'm glad with that. So man, good night to everybody. Next week, another late night Giants talk. Make sure you guys tune in for that. I got more roster reviews coming on the offensive side of the ball this week too, throughout the week. Make sure you guys tune into those as well, and hit that subscribe button. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.